Good morning, my dear students. Today I will explore you basic concepts of economics, that is theory of consumer demand, which we faces at the early stages of doing economics honors. We begin our lecture on the theory of consumer demand by looking at the behavior of buyers or the demand side. That is, at first we have to know what is demand. Demand simply indicating the quantities of a good which the consumer would be willing and financially able to purchase at various prices, holding other things constant. That is, other things means demand depends another things also, which we discuss on the subsequent lectures. You follow it. Now, demand can be illustrated through a demand schedule. For example, this is an hypothetical example of demand in table 1. This is called the demand schedule. You see that at the left column, we take the price per unit. That is suppose 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. That is, you see that continuously it is declining. Quantity demanded 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 8. That is continuously rising. So we are noticing a pattern in the numbers applying in the schedule in table 1. Price and quantity, you see that demanded varies inversely, or quantity demanded rises as price falls. This is why this is so. This is because the demand schedule obeys a law that is called renowned law of demand. Now, what is law of demand? The law of demand says other things staying constant or same, the quantity demanded of a commodity will be smaller at higher market prices and larger at lower market prices. Okay, so if we present the demand schedule graphically, then we get a curve like figure 1. On the subsequent page, I give you another example, which is rather presentation of this. You see that this is the demand curve, and you see this is called demand curve. In this figure, we measure the quantity on the horizontal axis and price on the vertical axis. This is a downward sloping curve because the law of demand operates here. That is, quantity increases, then price falls. So you see that this curve is downward from left to right. And you see that the demand curve shows how much of a good consumers are willing to buy as the prices per unit changes. So we can write this relationship with a simple equation, which is called demand equation, QD equal to QD of P. That is, quantity demanded is a function of price. So up to this, I suppose you understand. And if you have any query, you can ask me on my subsequent lecture. We will now show how we derive the market demand curve. This is the individual demand curve, and now I will explain how you derive the market demand curve from individual demand curve. For this, we suppose assume there are two commodity or two consumers in the economics, and their demands and market demands are shows in table 2. You see that in the table 2, we see that this is the demand curve for doing market demand. I take it. You see there is price as suppose I explain 12, 10, 8, 6 and 4, and you see that two consumers demanded. Suppose this is consumer 1, consumer 2. At price 12, consumer 1 consumes 4, 2 is 6, and at the 10 it is 5, it is 8. At the 8, price 8, consumer 1 consumes 6 unit, consumer 2 is 10 unit, and this process, you see that this proceeds in further way. One thing you notice that at the falling prices, consumer 1's demands also rises, consumer 2's demands also rises, although it differ in quantities. That is, when consumer 1 consumes 4, consumer 2 consumes 6. And for doing market demand, if I add just algebraic addition, 4 plus 6, 10, 6 plus 8, 13, and in this way we get the at price 12 market demand 10, at price 10 it is 13, and 16, 19, 22. And here you also see that market demand obeys the laws of demand. That is, market demand rises where price falls. So the individual demand curve and the market demand curve are shown in figure 2. You see that the name is derivation of the market demand curve, and you see that DD1 is the demand curve for consumer 1, DD2 is the individual demand curve of consumer 2, and you see that DD, that is DD is the market demand curve. You see that at the price OA or at the price OA, you see that or suppose in our hypothetical table it is rupees 10 or $10. You see that consumer 1 consumes 5 units, consumer 2 consumes 8 units. So at price 10, you see that 5 plus 8, 13 is the market demand. So the point B is the one point on the market demand curve, and in this way when price falls to suppose rupees 5, then you see that their quantity demanded rises, and ultimately we see, suppose that this becomes to 13. We assume it is not shown in the table, and we get the another point F. So B and F, two are subsequent points of a market demand curve, and if we add it and locate it, then we get the market demand curve. Okay. So you see that one thing we have to explain here so thoroughly. In demand curve, we frequently assumes that other thing remaining the same. Now we explore the origin of the word. The word comes from the Latin word ceteris paribus. Okay. Now if this ceteris paribus condition hold, then we can move along a straight line demand curve. Okay. So we are merely changing quantity demanded, you see that here. Now that is, what are the other thing on which demand depends? Something other than prices are, we assume, that is ceteris paribus. That is, if ceteris paribus condition violated, we entirely get a new demand curve. You see that if other factors on which demand depends, that is change in tastes, change in weather, change in incomes, change in prices, and change in price of other commodities, change in expectation. These are the few examples on which demand depends rather than price. And all these factors produce a shift in the demand curve. You see that entire demand curve changes. Okay. If more of the commodities demanded at every prices, then demand curve shifts to the right as shown in the figure 3a. You see this. Here price is fixed, but rather than price, suppose income increases, that is at the same price your quantity would be rise, then demand curve totally shift rightward. Okay, it is called the increase in demand. Okay, and at the same price, if your income is less than previous, then your entire demand curve shift to the left. You see, it is called a decrease in demand, which present in the 3b. Okay, which presented here in the 3b. Clear? So today I explain up to the market demand curve from individual demand curve and what is demand and what is actually ceteris paribus. When ceteris paribus condition violated, then we see a shift in demand curve. Okay, so it is the thing which we dealt up to this, and you see that dealt up to this and so on the next lecture I will explain about supply, and from there we go to the market demand curve and etc. Okay, thank you students and viewers. If you choice or if you make some advantage from this my YouTube channel, you can subscribe it and please press the bell icon for updated notification about my next lectures. Thank you.